So yeah, we ready to get into Medabots.
Yeah. Kicking it off with Sheriff Medabee.
Kick off with, hey, have you seen the new trailer came out for Kraven the Hunter?
Nope. I heard about it, but I haven't watched it. From the sounds
Yeah.
of it, it's going to be another Morbius.
Oh yeah, I figured it'd be relevant because I'm craving some Medabots. Let's go.
Incredible.
I was sitting on that joke for hours and it never got better. So yeah, welcome
Good.
to the Anispective cast where we talk about Medabots now and also Digimon eventually, I guess, but right now Medabots.
Yeah. Taking a break from Digimon. We'll get back to it eventually.
We'll
But
get
yeah,
back to it,
Medabots.
yeah. Listen, there's only so much Digimon to go around. We gotta make it last. We gotta spread it out, you know?
Yeah. Most recent Digimon thing is a manga, I think.
I think it's like a light novel. I'm not sure. I know it's all I know is I know what the main evolution line is like. I know there is another character who has a freaking Numamon with a little like police siren on its head, and it's adorable.
Huh.
It's a freaking Numamon cop.
Shame I can't be bothered to read books.
Yeah, I should really look it up. Like the new actual like, protagonist Digimon looks really, really cool.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the Digimon partners do look cool.
Yeah, like they revealed the full like evolution line and everything. Lugarmon is just so sick. Like holy crap.
That the dog?
Yes.
Yeah, I like the dog.
It's like little wolf. He has like a freaking dark evolution where he becomes like a flaming skeleton.
Sick.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, this episode on Medabots, yeah, we finally have a tournament arc, kind of.
Yeah. Poor
In the
Salty. Medabee
Yeah.
must weigh a lot considering he's made of metal. I assume they're made of metal.
Are they made of metal, though? Because,
I think we've heard bullets hit other Medabots and they make metallic dinging sounds.
yeah, it would make sense, right? I keep thinking that, like, this is gonna be a thing, like, like, oh, how, like, all Pokemon are, like, stupidly powerful, or, like, how, like, Digimon go, like, stupidly strong or whatever, or, like, Shaman King. But it's, like, we hadn't really seen much evidence that Medabots are, like, stupidly strong or anything. They might actually just be, like, giant plastic toys.
Yeah. Although, Medabee sinks in water like a rock, so
Yeah, that's true.
he's probably made of metal.
I don't know, I'm thinking it's like, I've got some Gunpla, and I feel like they get kind of heavy, like, because they have all the internal mechanisms and stuff. I feel like if you
Yeah.
had one of those and you put an engine in it, it would probably sink really hard too. I don't know, maybe. It's hard to tell how heavy they are.
I feel like maybe Medabot materials depend on the type. I wouldn't be surprised if Medabee is made of metal, but then like the Medabots that are designed to fly, they might be made of like a lightweight like carbon thing or whatever, or like plastic, like a really hard plastic material.
Wait, no, we've seen Cyan Dog lift weights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that at least establishes that they are at least strong. They can at least lift, like, sizable weights. I know, it's very weird. It's very unclear right now, it feels like.
Also, you have to keep in mind that the weightlifting stuff was kind of like a gag scene.
Yeah, but still, all gags are canon until proven otherwise.
I mean, considering how goofy this show usually is, yeah, it might as well be just like real.
Yeah, it's... Man, that's the whole thing. Because I feel like with this episode and the next episode, and kind of the one after that, it's like... I feel like we're hitting a point where the show should be getting, like, way more serious for this stuff, and then it just kind of, like, eases back and goes, like, full cartoon. It's very weird to watch.
The third of the ones we're watching today have more of a serious has more of a serious tone.
Yeah, this one is
Uh,
pretty serious, I feel like, for the most part.
this one's pretty serious, and so yeah, I guess there's no denying that. I just think it's handled poorly.
Yeah, this... Man, I'm gonna have some thoughts about these ones. So yeah,
This little mini arc. Eh.
this mini arc. So basically, Medabee, he's like just chilling out, We see that Ikki is like watching a Medabot tournament on TV for like the championship. Which, hey, I wonder if that's gonna come back later.
I wonder.
And he's like, it's weird because we're getting to see like other robots that we haven't like seen before fight each other in like a really professional setting, and we're getting to see what like pro Medabots are actually like. And it's like Matador versus some like chieftain Medabot that's like a Native American or something. Or something like that. It might be something else. And yeah, the guy's just... Yeah, guy's like taking shots, but the Matador's blocking it with his cape. And he's like, okay, yeah, move up and to the right like 1.2 inches. And they like shoot the horn off of it. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is what teamwork is like supposed to look like. Before we like introduce, the problems between Ikki and Medabee. And we see that their dynamic is just not that.
Yeah. Medabee is like crude and rebellious, and Ikki is like immature and like not really ready for like a leadership role in a lot of situations.
Like, I might be reaching with this. It really feels like Medabee has like abandonment issues or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I will also say that Ikki's not blameless in the conflict here, but Medabee's a problem in these episodes.
Oh yeah. Like, it really comes off like, maybe Medabee's like just got really like traumatized being stuck as a Mel or something. Or like, a really bad experience being stuck in that state for like a really long time. And now he's really wary about specifically like losing his body and being replaced.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious by now that like the metal that Medabee is a like a rare metal. It's like powerful or whatever. It's like special.
It seems like the implication from these episodes is that rare Mels are just sentient in a way that all other Mels just aren't.
Yeah, other Medabots will like they do have sentience. They will like talk to like their partners and do stuff and whatever.
But
like
Medabee is like extra sentient in a way where it's like, oh, he is not bound by any laws of robotics here. He just does whatever he wants.
He might be bound by there's a what's the word I'm looking for? There's an oh my god, my brain is not working. It's
an exchange.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the word.
Implication.
The word is implication. Yeah. There is an implication at some point that he might be bound by one, and that is that two Medabots can't fight each other without their partners.
Yeah, maybe. That seems like it's the case.
That seems to be like maybe one rule that all Medabots have programmed into them or something.
Honestly, that makes sense. That makes a lot of logical sense. Because otherwise it's like, oh, one robot could go rogue and just take out all the others. And it's like...
Yeah.
Actually...
It makes it so that like Medabots don't go crazy in the streets or something.
Yeah. You can't like take on the military if you don't have a partner, because then they'd send in another Medabot and you wouldn't be able to fight them.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if later, there might have been scenes that we're not remembering.
Yeah, I feel
where
like
two
if
Medabots have fought each other without partners, but
I feel like if there are going to be an episode that like disproves it, it's like these two, right? Cause
Maybe.
yeah, the plot of this episode is that it's like Ikki's like, okay, I had to like fix Medabee up for the big like tournament, like they have a friction, they have some like conflict between each other. And he's like, all right, I need to like fix him up for this, so I need to get like a spare body to put his metal into, so that like while I'm fixing up his main body, he has something to like be in. As like a
That
nice
way,
gesture. Yeah, because he doesn't like being, like as a metal, just on its own.
yeah. Or so that Medabee's not just sitting in the tin pit, like, just without any
Yeah.
parts, which I think they can do. It's just he probably wouldn't want to. He'd probably feel like literally naked.
Yeah, like, other Medabots seem pretty cool with it. Medabee is really not cool with, like, not having a body.
Well, I mean, the tin pet is basically the skeleton of the Medabot, the
Oh,
blue and
yeah,
white, like,
yeah, that thing. Alright, yeah, no, I know what
yeah,
you mean now.
yeah. Like, I
I
think they should be able to operate if they're just in one of those, but I wouldn't be surprised if a Medabot really doesn't like it.
I feel like the implication they've given us is that it's like, without the parts, a tin pet is like just a frame, right? Because they say it like the, actual parts are like the muscles, and they determine your, like, stats and stuff, seemingly. So
Right,
maybe a
maybe.
tin pet can't, like, move on its own, and it would be, like, barely better than being in, like, the watch, right?
Yeah, okay.
I,
But
I
yeah,
feel
we
like that
get,
makes sense, yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, we get a pretty neat moment where so Hikaru, the storekeeper guy, is like, hey, I'll let you borrow my tin pet for Medabee while you fix up his other parts. And we see a moment where Ikki uses all of his one or gifted parts and puts together like a makeshift spare body.
Yeah, for a second I
Yeah.
was like, hey, why do they have Doc Study's arm and not, like, the octopus, no, the crab limb, yeah. Why don't they have, like, fake crab as the right arm? And it turns out it's because, yeah, Spike just kind of kept it, and he just, like, gave
Yeah.
it to his friends.
Yeah, it seems the screws successfully just stole that part.
I mean, hey, fair enough, No one's really, like, overseeing it, so why not?
Yeah. So either way, Ikki does have the parts to put together. This Medabot would be awful.
It
I
would
don't
be
I
so
don't
bad.
I don't claim to know too much about how all this stuff works, but I'm pretty sure with the parts from these different Medabots, the best thing it could do is defend, and only if it's in water.
Yeah. On land, this thing would be slow, it would have no real weapons, and its defense for its core would be terrible. Also, it could
Yeah.
only defend on one side, probably.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I mean. Like in water, he could probably spin around and block from all sides, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this doesn't work. This is just so Medabee has something to hang out in.
Not even using Bankran's legs, huh?
Yeah, they could have used those. Why not? Yeah, why is he using these things?
I think it's just for the sake of the gag, because he's like, oh, this is
Yeah,
goofy, but yeah, whatever, I'm sure Mubby will appreciate it. And, like,
yeah.
he leaves for literally, like, 5 seconds, and Mubby just walks up, sees another Medabot body, and he's like, oh, Ikki's trying to replace me. I should destroy this and leave.
Which so okay, so by this point we kind of glossed over it. Ikki and Medabee get into a fight and they break the TV, and like now they're all mad at each other. And so they're already on shaky ground. And then
Yeah.
Medabee sees the new body, quote unquote new body, and like trashes it out of thinking that Ikki's trying to replace him with a new Medabot. And it's like, okay, freaking, did you consider talking to him and seeing what this is about before you just started destroying things?
One thing I do like is that Ikki straight calls him out on that crap in the next episode.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you didn't even try to listen to me. What the heck?
Yeah, and that's the recurring problem with these episodes. Ikki is not faultless, but most of the problem is that Medabee won't listen. And he makes assumptions based on things he hears from completely unrelated parties.
Yeah, it's not like, Medabee tries to hear him out and Ikki gets angry and, like, escalates things or whatever. It's like, it feels like the blame is, like, all on Medabee here.
Yeah. Because like this is despite their anger towards each other at the time, this is happening because Ikki's like, okay, I'm going to like do maintenance on Medabee's parts and make him like super strong so we could win the tournament.
Yeah, it's the whole, like, thing of, like, oh yeah, the, like, freaking misunderstanding that leads to the drama or whatever. But it feels so forced. Because he
Yeah,
literally
but
just leaves for, like, a minute, and Mabi just finds it immediately.
yeah. And you could chalk it up to oh, it's a jokey show, whatever, but it's like they're playing this one pretty serious.
Yeah,
Like
as far as Ryan goes, I feel like this could have been better. This could have been handled way better.
yeah, if Ikki was like just as much to blame as Medabee, then it'd be better.
Yeah, like, at least have, like, him say some... God, I'm going back to Gargoyles with this, because there is a scene like this in Gargoyles that is great.
Oh yeah.
Because there is, like, a moment where it's like, oh yeah, Goliath starts to, like, develop feelings for, like, the human cop girl that's, like, their big ally and stuff.
Right.
And, she starts, like, getting, like, attached to another man and, like, actually falling for him and stuff. And he's, like, he just, eavesdrops in and hears her say, like, oh, it'll never work, I have to keep, just going to the clock tower and it's exhausting and, it's such a pain. And Goliath gets ready to leave and, he stops and the guy's like, oh, is there another man in your life? And Goliath, like, just listens back and he's like, oh, wait, maybe I misunderstood something. And she's just straight up like, oh, yeah, there is, but we're from two different worlds. It would never work out. And it's like, oh, it's even worse now. It's like the real feelings are kind of worse.
Yeah. But like, so in that instance, it's like she's a human, he's a gargoyle. It's probably not actually going to work out. Like,
oh yeah, but it's like, it's still like most things where it's like, oof, But I do appreciate they at least stop saying, it's like, well, hang on, I should like give her the benefit of the doubt here and not like rush off. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah, that's better than the inciting incident in Shrek.
Jeez.
Yeah, where Shrek is like bringing flowers, like he's trying to bring flowers to Fiona because he's like he realizes he likes her and he's like trying to work up the courage to talk to her about it or whatever. And then he hears transformed Fiona, who's been discovered by Donkey, talking in the shed or whatever. And like she's just like, who could ever love a repulsive, ugly freak or whatever? And then that's all he hears and he storms off. And it's like,
why is it such a common kids show thing to do? It's so weird.
Because it's an easy concept to understand, I imagine.
Yeah, it's like, oh, but what if you just walked up? Alright, what if you were just like, I was just in a voice call and you just like joined in or something and you just heard me say like, oh man, Lucky's such a pain to work with, I kinda hate it. And you just left.
Okay, bye.
And I'm just immediately was like, yeah, that was a good joke, huh? And we all just bust out laughing.
I forgot about the worst part of that Shrek scene is later Fiona transformed back to normal, goes up to Shrek and is like, hey, we gotta go back to the castle or whatever. And he's like all mad and like whatever, throws it back at her like, who could love such an ugly, horrible monster or whatever? And she thinks he's talking about her.
Jeez. Yeah.
like the misunderstanding just doubles up, and it's like, oh man.
We really doubled down on that one.
Yeah. Uh,
Wait a second, what? She thinks like talking about her. He's also an ogre.
yeah, but so he thought she was talking about him, and like, oh yeah, I couldn't get with Shrek, who would love such an ugly monster, talking about herself.
Yeah.
And like she's just like, oh yeah, I'm like as an ogre, I'm ugly. Why would even an ogre like me like this?
Oh man, that's so dumb. It's
Yeah. And it's just like, no, if anything, as the end of the movie shows, it's like, no, for Shrek, that's even better. He's like, okay, cool.
can we just like acknowledge the balls they had to be like, oh yeah, Fiona, you're just ogre now. Go for it.
Take love's true form.
Yeah,
Hey,
just do it. Be an ogre.
look, Shrek's a good movie.
It is, but it's like, holy crap. I'm kind of afraid to go back and watch it because it feels like it'd be so dated, right?
I'm like, I think there's like a weird musical montage in the middle of it that's kind of like boring or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that movie's still really funny.
Oh man, yeah. I know, I'd have to like see if it holds up. I know it's like there's a whole video where it's like, I don't know if you've heard of Big Joel, but he did a big video essay deconstructing the themes of Shrek.
Uh-huh.
And it's like an actual like non-meme like legit analysis about the nature of being an outcast and how like like shoving things into the swamp otherizes them and stuff. It's like a surprisingly good, sincere video. It's really good.
Yeah. Hey, Shrek came from a place of a guy who wanted to deconstruct all the like superficial like Disney
Yeah.
like fantasy tropes or whatever.
It is a weirdly sincere movie, and then it had a sequel and it made Shrek hot. And it's like, yo, what? I respect that too.
I haven't seen 2. I don't think I've watched 2 all the way through. Like I've seen bits and pieces of it, but from what I understand, people still really like the sequel.
Yeah, 2 is still real. Honestly, I feel like looking back, 2 is probably better than 1 in a lot of ways.
I wouldn't be surprised. People talk about it very fondly.
Just all the like, just really just the bit where it's like they're just watching a parody of Cops and it's just knights.
Yeah.
And just like, they're like trying to restrain Shrek in human form. And he's like, no, you understand, I have to save Fiona. They're like, kill him with the pepper. And they just take a little like grinder and they're just like shooting pepper in his face. Just like makes a horrible like face as Fritz just pause the TV and they're like, wait a second. They're like, wait, is that human Shrek? Oh my god. That's how they figure it out. Oh man. First movie probably pretty good, second movie great. Third movie sucks. I don't care. Third one's horrible.
Yeah, I think from what I've heard, they don't get better, except for like 1 to 2.
Fourth one is surprisingly alright.
Okay.
Like
I should find a way to watch 2 at least.
I like the big there's a big premise for like Shrek 4, which is like Shrek is he has to go back in time and there's time travel shenanigans and stuff because he finds a world where he was like never born and Fiona just became an ogre without him and just still has to deal with the curse and stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, true love's kiss can like undo the curse and like fix everything. And he like gets her to kiss him, but because they've like just met in this timeline, she doesn't really love him yet, so it does nothing. And it's a whole deconstruction of like, oh yeah, true love's kind of bullshit. Love is what you make of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprisingly good. So welcome back to the Anispective cast, where we talk about Shrek.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we talk about Digimon, but this time we get sidetracked by Shrek.
Yeah, don't. It's Ogre.
It's all Ogre now. Let's see. So yeah, Medabee basically decides that he's gonna go enter the local Medabot tournament by himself and win without Ikki's help.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
seems I know that there's supposed to be like this like partnership aspect between the human and their Medabot and like for the whole thing, but it seems weird that like Medabots don't know how to like repair or like maintain themselves. Like
Yeah,
it seems like Medabee's like trying to like tune up himself and he doesn't seem to understand how to do it right.
I feel like that makes sense, because it's like, think about this logically. It's like, I don't know how my body works. That's like what a doctor's for, right?
Yeah, but you're not a robot with like programmed like personality or like knowledge.
True.
Like like it just seems like they programmed Medabots to not know how to care for themselves.
If Saint Nurse healed Medabee, would that fix his like parts and make him tune himself back up?
That how does healing a Medabot work anyways? All I can think is that it gives energy back and it won't repair any damage.
Yeah, like maybe it's just literally like part number go up and not like specifically fixing problems. That makes sense.
Here's like, I'm going to beam energy straight into your part so it functions. It might not fire well though if the gun is like broken.
Yeah, if you literally like cut off a part of a Medabot. Like if someone cut off Medabee's arm and then they healed it, I don't know if he'd grow an arm back.
No.
I think it would just like replenish the like energy he's lost from having the part damage that makes it like power down.
Yeah. Until we see otherwise, at least.
What if you like cut Medabee in half and then you healed both halves and you had two Medabees, but only one had the metal?
Well, if you cut it straight down the middle, then the metal would have been halved, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of like you cut them in half at like the waist and you just regrow it.
Okay. Well, then the other one would just be a body, right?
Maybe would the orange just have the body and head, or would it have the arms?
I don't know.
Listen, we can only ship of Theseus this Medabot so much.
Yeah. I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit, hopefully just a little bit. I saw some people in another server I'm in having a discussion about Dragon Ball Z stuff, specifically Future of Trunks, which is the one where Gohan gets his arm destroyed by Android 17 and 18.
Right.
And it's like, okay, but Gohan probably could have just ate like a Senzu bean or whatever to grow his arm back. And it's like, well, no, probably not. And then like somebody realized, but wait a minute, Dr. Gero puts a hole through Yamcha's chest at one point, and
God,
he eats a Senzu. Yeah, he eats a Senzu bean to heal it, and he's fine. Maybe
in the future there just aren't any Senzu beans left. Maybe the tower's just like
So here's the thing. I don't remember the special very much myself, but apparently Gohan still had one Senzu bean left.
Ooh, if he has his one, then that makes sense, because maybe he's like saving it.
He gave it to Trunks for a minor injury.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like somebody went to like wiki diving on Senzu beans, and it's like, oh, they can totally grow back limbs. It's like if Gohan hadn't given away his Senzu bean, he could have regrown his arm.
Jeez. That'd probably make him a better fighter, but wouldn't be as cool, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it helped me like create a head canon for every Dragon Ball Z game where they have future Gohan, but he has both of his arms because of dumb Japanese censorship laws. And it's that this is an alternate timeline where Gohan kept the Senzu bean.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, then he just eats it, regrows his arm, and it's like, yeah, he still fights with one arm for some reason, but screw it.
Yeah, he's just used to fighting with one arm now.
He had to wait a little bit for it to grow back. It wasn't instant.
It's like how Auron in Final Fantasy X is like a huge buster sword, but he always just fights with it one-handed.
Yeah, despite the fact that his other arm very clearly works.
Yeah, you'll have to deal with that, right?
I feel like you've told me before, but I don't remember.
Yeah, apparently it's like a Japanese like samurai thing where it's like, if you like lose your master, then you like stop using one of your arms as like a symbolic, like thing to pay respects to them, because it's like, oh, you've like lost this part of yourself, so you're like, you keep from using one of your arms to be like represent that or something.
Huh.
So apparently
guess,
that's was because Broska dies, and
yeah,
he's like, all right, I guess I'll just do that because I am cool samurai man.
I guess he just breaks it when he needs another arm to do something, like pull out his like jar of whiskey or whatever, or sake probably.
Yeah, for like minor things, sure. I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, 'cause I just think of that limit he does where he pulls out the jar of sake and like drinks it and then like spits it back out on his blade or whatever.
Yeah, does he just spray fire, or am I like misremembering?
I don't remember specifically. He like sprays out the mist of sake onto the blade and then like he does a big attack with it or something. I don't remember though.
Yeah, man, Auron's so cool. He's so cool for that game.
Yeah.
It feels like he really should be try hard, but he just kind of works.
Yeah. Yeah, because Auron shows up in the beginning of the game with like way more health than Titus, and like he's very clearly way stronger. And then he shows up later when like there's a bunch of fiends attacking like the Blitzball Stadium, and you fight with him for like one battle where you one shot a monster before he joins the group again. And it's like, oh man, Auron's so cool.
It's Cab just like, he's so cool, but such a shame that he's so slow.
Yeah, well, that's his deal is that he hits the big guys. He's so strong.
He's so strong, but it's like, because there's the whole mechanic where it's like, oh yeah, speed just gives you more turns. And it's like, okay, so having a fast character is like way better though.
Yeah, except for in those like little instances where you have to fight the big things that you can't damage.
It's like, oh, I could use Auron, or I could use Titus and have a full party haste just ready to go.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems damn it.
Seems like ideally you get Auron, then you take him through Titus's tree, or take Titus through Auron's.
Yeah, just there has to be something you could do with that, where it's like, just get Auron really fast and have him use like power break on everything to just nerf them into the ground.
Yeah, or like defense break or whatever it is so that he hits even harder.
Holy crap, speed up plus defense break sounds like it'd be so good.
It's probably called armor break.
Armor break, yeah. What are we talking about? Oh right, Medabots.
Yeah, I meant to just go off on the short tangent about the Dragon Ball Z thing, but yeah.
I love that Bleach just has a mad scientist who literally has an arm regrowing serum for like yeah.
That guy's crazy.
For just every time someone just gets their arm mangled in a fight, which is happening constantly, you should just pop up and just like regrow their arm immediately.
To be fair, in a like when everybody's fighting with mostly swords, it's a pretty reasonable fear to have. Your arm will get cut off.
Pretty reasonable. As Big Foul Battle is fighting a sentient arm.
Ah, perfect.
A giant sentient hand that he kills by like mauling it with a nerve baby and then giving it cancer.
Fantastic.
Bleach sure is the shonen series of all time. Oh man. But
But
yeah, so tournament arc.
Yeah, so Medabee enters the tournament, and to be fair, he's doing pretty good.
Medabee is still really strong.
Oh wait, that kind of breaks the whole thing we said earlier, where a Medabot can't fight without their partner. Well, then again,
yeah,
Ikki's there.
Ikki is there, which is what I was thinking, because it's like, Medabee probably can't fight on his own, but maybe if Ikki's at least watching, it counts, you know?
If his watch is within range.
Yeah, if his watch is within a set distance that, like, you know, lets him do the thing. So really dumb, dark idea. What if a Medabot went rogue and they just took their human partner hostage?
And they just took the watch.
Yeah, I was thinking as if like this, of like their partner in like a freaking sack, and they're just carrying them around while like fighting things.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen, I guess.
Because now you technically have a partner with you, so you can fight other Medabots.
By the way, we should talk about Peppercat's second on-screen loss.
Yes. Because Peppercat gets another one. They get another chance, and oh boy.
It seems like such a weird rookie mistake for Kikuhime to make.
Full armor Peppercat seemed like a way better idea at the time.
Okay, I didn't even notice the gun until just now. Why would she do that?
Well, because the arm's gonna make you slow, but if you have a gun, it makes up for it, right?
This is so weird because, like, aside from like the moments where they're used as comic relief, they've always seemed, or at least Kikuhime and the other guy have always seemed like such competent fighters. Why in the world would she do this to Peppercat?
Poor Peppercat, no.
So,
I do point out there's something early on where like Ikki mentions in like the first episode, it's like, oh yeah, she like, she tuned Peppercat incorrectly or something, or she like modified her wrong in such a way that was like throwing off her balance. So it's like Peppercat struggling, and like one of her arms gets damaged to the point of breaking, and then she just wins because the balance was off or something. So it's like Kikuhime's like experimented around with doing dumb crap before.
True. Yeah, I think it was like she made Peppercat like lighter so she could move even faster than normal, but it lowered her defenses as a result.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sends in Peppercat with this thing, and as you can imagine, it doesn't go anywhere. She can't even hardly move this thing, and she gets defeated in one hit.
How did Peppercat even get into the ring if she was this over capacity without anyone realizing?
You can transport a part right onto your Medabot. Peppercat was probably on the fighting stage before we saw.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, Meishi's transporter right there, swapped out parts, and was like, okay, I have my best setup now. We have the freaking machine gun, we've got like, freaking crab hammer, we've got the Peppercat, let's go. We're just gonna like mess them up so bad. My robot's gonna be so fast and they're gonna hit them so hard. And immediately Peppercat's like, oh god, I can't move. This is so much.
Yeah. Also, does Peppercat talk? I can't remember. She at least makes like actual like noise. Like, I don't think she's spoken yet, right?
I don't remember her saying anything, but I believe she could do it.
Okay. It's just like it's weird seeing like the Medabots and then they don't talk, except for when they're like the bad guys, like just robot of the week or whatever.
What if
Also,
Peppercat just Peppercat? What if Peppercat finally starts talking and it's just cat noises?
be incredible. It also seems ridiculous that Kikuhime would give her the gun at all because Peppercat is clearly like a close quarters like fighter type.
For what's worth, giving her the gun would not be the worst idea.
Are you sure about that? Because we've seen the results of Cyan Dog, who is a melee fighter equipped with guns.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like, what if you're just really athletic and mobile, but then you can also shoot and you can like zone them out a bit? Like, yeah, no, that
But
seems like might have some merit to it. Like, why'd you need both attacking arms, right?
but the problem is that Cyan Dog, like it's like okay, Cyan Dog can fight from range or whatever. It doesn't matter because he can't hit a thing.
I don't know, maybe Peppercat's got better accuracy. It's hard to say. Medabee's definitely punched things out before.
Yeah, but that's weird. I don't know. Medabee just might be special because
Maybe.
rare metal.
Yeah, maybe. Hard to say. Hard to say for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it's just like, oh, the rare metal that is Medabee is adept at all parts.
I will point out, this puts freaking Kikuhime's win-loss rate at literally 50%.
Ooh.
Like, exactly. This one scene dropped her below Charlie Bear.
Very sad. Hopefully she'll get her redemption.
Meanwhile, yeah, Keith Turtle and Brass still doing it. Still at 100.
Heck yeah.
And
Granted, they
Similodon
fought
just
like
got even better.
yeah. Granted, like Keith Turtle and Brass have fought like one battle each.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's the thing, they fought one battle, but they haven't lost a battle.
Yeah, yeah. One win out of one battle is still 100% win rate.
It still counts. Listen, this is why I have like Similodon be above them on the list, because yeah, even though the win rate's not as good, it's like they have more fights. I feel like that should count for something.
Yep.
But yeah, this means that like Kikuhime has the same win-loss rate as the freaking band trio, the Yakuza guy, and Yuchi-tan. The freaking shark.
Oh.
And they're all still above Cyan Dog.
Poor guy.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the tournament continues as normal. We see some familiar Medabot row battlers with their partners winning some fights. And Medabee makes it to the finals with Similodon.
I do mention, we do get a fun little scene where, like, Medabee's trying to fix himself, and Ikki's like, oh, let me help with that. And, they're a bit standoffish, but you can tell they're, like, getting back together and making progress. And it's like a really sweet little moment. And then Spike shows up the fuck out of nowhere. And he's like, oh yeah, Ikki, good luck with the next match. I'm betting on you or something. And he's like, wait, what? And Medabee gets really, like, angry about it.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you bet on row battles and like whatever. I can't believe you would do this working conspiring with Iwanoi or whatever. And then like he marches out of the tent all mad, and this makes Ikki mad because of course it does. Medabee just wouldn't listen.
Yeah, what the crap, Medabee?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so he goes out with like his parts on what the
unrepaired, yeah.
Yeah, unready, I guess. I don't know. I just heard a weird sound. I was just like, "The heck is that?" But yeah, he's unready to fight Similodon, who is definitely like up there, like in his same power level, I guess. Like,
yeah, he's so unready that he gets wrecked super, super hard.
Yeah, I do want to say Koji is surprisingly chill for like the rival character. Like he's a bit cocky, but he seems to be like a really good sport about everything.
Yeah, you'd kind of expect him to be like, this really like angry scumbag. Yeah, you'd expect him to be the Bakugo to Ikki's Midoriya, You'd expect him to contrast him more, but he's just like, he's really level-headed and respectable.
Yeah, he sees Ikki as a rival and he approaches him at the tournament and like tries to shake his hand, and Ikki's so out of it he doesn't like reciprocate, but still like, yeah, Koji seems pretty cool. And it's like, yeah, Sumilidon absolutely trashes Medabee, and like Koji like slaps Ikki, I think. Is that the next episode though?
That's the next episode, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, okay, so this one ends with Sumilidon like slowly but surely wears down Medabee's parts until all that's left there is his head. And then he tries to fire the missiles at Sumilidon, and then we find out what Sumilidon's like head part does. It makes projectiles return to whatever shot them, seemingly.
Yeah, they say it reflects the missiles and bounces them back, but it seems like what it does is it just like ignites like ammunition in the air, because the missiles don't really bounce back, they just explode on the spot. Like it detonates them.
Yeah, they say it reflects the rockets back, but it really just looks like they exit Medabee's horns and they explode.
Yeah, this freaking head part, which is called the Hunter, and it like releases weird green particles of energy. Also worth knowing, Medabee is actively like going against Ikki's advice at every turn in this battle.
Yeah, Ikki's like, oh, he's using his hunter. If you fire his missiles, it would be a really bad idea. And Medabee's just like, shut up, I'm doing it. And then he fires the missiles and instantly loses.
Ikki, gain some distance. You can't be at close range. No, shut up.
Yeah, and he tries to run up and like punch him.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, first of all, that's not your specialty, even if you've shown the ability to punch things out before. Secondly, Sumilidon is built to be a melee fighter very clearly.
Yes.
Even to the point where he has counter range options. Like, you don't win the fist fight with this guy.
Or do you?
Yeah, well...
maybe you can win if you're very, very clever about it.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll get to that. So yeah.
It's worth knowing also of the Rubber Robo Gang also here. They're just running a soba stand.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing something seemingly actually not evil.
This is one of the most successful plans the Rubber Robo Gang has ever had. Because it's like, they basically just steal Pikachu this episode, and it's purely by just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, these guys are like Team Rocketing it up like a lot.
It's like, hey, what if Pikachu got injured and we just swiped the ball between matches?
Yeah, Ash wasn't paying attention for a second, and Team Rocket just happened to be there, and they were just like, yoink, and ran.
Yeah, it's time for this crap.
So yeah, that's basically, that's the start of the next episode. But yeah, Medabee gets wrecked.
Medabee gets wrecked. I am very tempted to make this like a 2-episode video, but holy crap, we talked about Shrek for so long.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, but
I'm just going to call this episode Ikki and Medabee are Ogre.
So yeah, I mean, probably best to leave final thoughts for after the end of the second part when we conclude this little arc.
Ah man, so moving along.
Yeah.